is not over just yet.
Woohoo! USA! USA!
We have an action-packed hour for you 6 p.m. drivers.
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
Matt Skraby wraps up a full day of live and local sports talk.
And that is the whole problem with aliens. You just can't trust them. Occasionally you meet a nice one, but usually they turn out to be some kind of big lizard.
The Skraby Show starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Alvarado delivers. Jackson swings, pops it up left side of the infield. Bohm backs up, and at the edge of the infield dirt makes the catch. The ball game is over. The Phillies come to Petco Park and sweep the series. The Padres are shut out twice in the 3 games, and this long homestand will come to an end with the Padres winning just 3 times in 9 games.
Hello and welcome everyone into the hybrid Gwynn and Chris Skraby Show here for Wednesday, May 27th. Not a fantastic day by any means, not a fantastic series by any means, and we're going to get into all of that as we go along today. Chris is out because it's his wife's birthday, so he's doing good things with his lovely wife, Lori. So happy birthday, Lori. I hope you both are having a great time. Tony is on a plane to Washington, D.C. with the team. So you get me here in the Bill House Studios where we know how. The one thing I can't say that we know how, I'll just stop there, is get the Padres to hit. We don't know what is going on with the Padres. And just the seemingly lack of offense that kind of came out of nowhere. And it's been really tough. It's been really, really tough to watch this team offensively over the last week or so. The homestand itself, 3-6. They won that game with the Dodgers. They won 2 against the A's, which the A's are in a first place team or fighting for first place. So I guess you could say that that's a good team. I'm not sure how good the A's are going to be, but they went 3-6 in this stretch here at home in their 9-game homestand. And as Sam said during his post-game show, they were last 5 games, they're 0 for 33 with runners in scoring position. And that's not great, obviously. I feel like runners in scoring position is something that we talk about all the time because it's a metric that tells you how well they're doing when they, are in situations where they can drive in runs. And it's a metric that's not very friendly to the Padres right now. But we're going to, I'm going to do a notes on a scorecard around 5:20 today. I'm going to do my best Chris Ello, and we're going to get more into the game. But I wanted to, instead of going all negative to start the show today, and if you want to watch the show, you can just go to YouTube, 97.3 The Fan. Also, you can go to Gwynn and Chris SD, at Matt Skraby on Twitter, 97.3 The Fan on Twitter, and then you can also go to 97.3 The Fan on Facebook. But let's start, a little positive, and then we'll get into the negative. And I was sitting here before the show thinking, how am I going to not just come out and say that this team is unwatchable right now? This team doesn't deserve to win right now. Well, here's one of the things that I think we can hang our hats on. Pitching has been pretty good as of late, and they aren't getting blown out in their last 6 losses. The margin of victory in their last 6 losses, including today, 3-1, 3-3, 4-1. All of those deficits, you could say there is a chance for the Padres to win. So I would be much, much more worried, if they weren't getting opportunities to hit with runners in scoring position. And I would be worried if they were getting blown out each and every day. But that's just not what's happening. They're just not getting the timely hit that they had earlier in the year. And this is going to just be, hopefully, but judging by how last season went, maybe the season before, stuff like this in the beginning part of the year is not, it's a blip on the radar when you think about the full season. And so I went through last season to kind of bring up some of these skids that they have, just to kind of prove to all of us that it's not that bad to have a 5-game skid right now. And so I'll go through their schedule from last year and I'll tell you what they did, how many times, they were swept and things like that. And it will make us feel better. I promise you. And then we'll get into notes on a scorecard around 5:20. So Matt Skraby getting started today, going until 6 p.m. Padres lose to the Phillies 3-0. You're listening to 97.3 The Fan. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, put me on. And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor, it's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, are they cheesy? No, they're not cheesy at all, actually. They're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now, I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. Matt Skraby back here with you in the Bill House Studios, where we know how. 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello enjoying a nice day with his lovely wife, Lori. It's her birthday, so everybody say happy birthday if you see them out and about. I'm going till 6 tonight with everyone. We actually, for our company, we have said over the years, our engineer or former engineer, JR, who we all loved, and who blamed me for every time that I needed help with something, he would ask me, "Well, why did you break it?" That's just kind of who JR is. He's just a jokester, but he was always there for us. So anyway, he is going into retirement, I believe, and so he's having a going away party tonight. And I'm going to show up just a little bit late, but that's why we're only going till 6 tonight. So JR's going away party tonight. But we're going to get back into this Padres and what happened in this series. And basically what happened in this series is the timely hitting has been nowhere to be found. And even last night, they go down 4-0. Manny hits the home run, 4-2. Ramon Laureano hits the solo shot, 4-3. And then it was just stuck at 4-3. And so you're getting the homers that we have been asking for, but we're not getting the homers in the spots that we really want them to be. Because all it does is just get us excited for the Padres to come back and win a game. But it is nice to see Manny Machado, obviously, hitting the ball really well. Last night, homered, as I just said, and then today hit the ball really well twice. I was at the game for his first one that went to the wall, and just the arc of the ball and the sound off the bat, I thought it was gone. So Manny did say things are starting to turn around a little bit for him, and we'll get into a Manny quote in just a little bit. But it's nice to see him hitting the ball hard. It's nice to see Ramon Laureano kind of getting back to it. Top Ramon. Jackson Merrill had some good swings today. He went 2 for 4. So there are things, I guess, the things that we have been concerned about for the last, 4 or 5 games. We've seen a little bit of improvement there. Just didn't get the win. Ultimately, you need to get the win. But here's what happened last season. And then I also looked up other teams from last year that made the playoffs with a bad stretch. And the Detroit Tigers went 5-15. They had a stretch of 20 games where they went 5-15 in September. Like, that is the worst time to have your losing stretch. And they still made the playoffs. Cleveland had a stretch towards the end of the year when they went 5-15. And they still ended up in the playoffs. Now, last year, the Padres were swept a total of 5 times throughout the entire year. And a lot of them were in the, 3 of them were in the first part of the year. They got swept by the Rays in April. They got swept by the Mariners in May. And then they got swept by the Blue Jays May 20th through the 22nd. So they got back-to-back swept by the Mariners and then the Blue Jays. So they went on a 6-game losing streak. But even though they had these terrible stretches throughout the year, they ended up with a 90-72 record. They hit some rough patches. That's what's going to happen with these teams. And that's what's going to happen with this team. It's just not going to be as easy as we all want it to be. And this is the first time, this is the first time they've have they been swept yet? I don't think they've been swept. This is the first time they've been swept. But last year, they had a 6-game losing streak. In May, they had a 5-game losing streak in the first week of September. What I'm trying to say here is when we get to September, most likely, unless something else happens, most likely, no one's going to remember it. I honestly didn't even remember that they lost 6 straight, and it was back-to-back series that they got swept. So, like, that is where I'm trying to look at the big picture here. If we were sitting here on September 15th or something like that, September 15th and they're losing a bunch of games, yeah, we can panic. We can do all we can get all up in arms about everything. But I'm not going to get all up in arms about a series at the end of May where they got swept by the Phillies. Phillies are a good team. They have good players. And so I'm just not going to sit here and say that this team is done, because they're not. It wouldn't be right for me to say that they are done, because that's just so far from the truth. But, you know, I can't really even complain about Craig Stammen today. You know, we talk about Craig Stammen and his decisions. We pick apart his decisions, but he's made pretty good decisions. And Walker Buehler, 58 pitches. He was fantastic today. Craig Stammen didn't allow him to face Kyle Schwarber for the 3rd time. That's the right move. That's what we need to happen. I got a DM from someone saying this is why this team can't win. It's because he makes moves like that. I didn't want to see Walker Buehler facing Kyle Schwarber for the 3rd time with guys on base. I didn't want to see it. You got to also think at a certain point, Craig Stammen has to play it like, my offense can't score. So if we give up 1 run here, I guess I would assume that my offense isn't going to score. So I'm going to do everything that I can now to not give up that run. So you bring in Morejon, the best lefty reliever in the bullpen. You bring him in. Most of the time he gets out of it. Today, he didn't get out of it. Kyle Schwarber, I keep wanting to call him Carl. I don't know why I want to call him Carl Schwarber, because his name is Kyle Schwarber, but he still drove in the run. So in the end, was it the wrong move? I can't say yes or no. We don't know what Walker Buehler would do, but the matchup called for Morejon to come in to face Kyle Schwarber. 58 pitches, though. I mean, Walker Buehler was slicing and dicing the Phillies today. In fact, he went like into the 5th inning. I have this in my notes on the scorecard, so we will, if I don't get it right here, if I can't find it, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But he saw 3 up, 3 down, pretty much his entire outing. And when he did allow someone on base, he would get a double play to get out of the trouble, the inning. So Walker Buehler was great this year. And if we're talking about Walker Buehler, you gotta start giving him a little bit more credit for how he's pitching this year, because he's a guy who goes deep into games. I'm looking, he's only gone less than 5 innings, like 3 times so far this year. And he pretty much keeps the Padres in the game and allows them to win. On Friday against the A's, 3 earned runs. Padres end up winning that game 7-3. Against the Mariners, he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Padres win that game 7-4. Against the Cardinals on Sunday, May 10th, in 10 innings, they won. It was that crazy game with Nick Castellanos hitting that home run. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And then against the Giants, where they won 10-5, 5 1/3, 4 runs. So when Walker Buehler starts a game, and by the way, all 4 of those that I just mentioned were wins. So if you count today, 4-1, he's doing his job. He's keeping his team in it. And I know that there are a few people out there that are wanting Walker Buehler to basically be lights out, but come on. There's one thing I'm getting sick of, and it's that people are expecting far, far, far too much from humans. Like, we're not robots. A lot of these guys are working day in and day out. But to say that Walker Buehler, who gave up three runs against the A's, 2 against the Mariners, 2 against the Cardinals, to say that he needs to be better is crazy to me. Because his job is to keep the team in the game. His job is to make sure that they're in places to win, and they have been. Here's another one. Jordan. They really need to option Tatis to Elsinore for a week. That's not going to help. And why? See, this is what gets me angry. Why would you send the guy when he's starting to hit? Why would you send him away? He was 2 for 2 today. He walked twice. His average is 255. Among qualified hitters, he's your best hitter on the team in regards to batting average. I can tell you this. Fernando Tatis Jr. is not going to Lake Elsinore to clear his head. It's just not going to happen. Who are you going to put there instead? You want Bryce Johnson playing right field every single day? I don't think so. Manny's not going to AAA. Jackson Merrill isn't going to AAA. Like, it's just not going to happen. So stop thinking about it and stop saying it. Jesse says they turned Tatis into David Eckstein. This is another thing. Now I'm getting angry. The whole thing about how they've turned them into... Fernando has played for this team for more than like 5 years, right? Like has he played for any other teams at the major league level? No. We've seen him do things before. So you think this year the Padres were like, hey, Fernando, we want you to try something different. We want you to not hit any home runs. We just want you to make soft contact all year. You think you could do that? It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. That stuff really, really does bother me. Like saying that it's the hitting coach's fault. Hitting coaches will get fired. And if they fire the hitting coach here in San Diego, fine. It's not going to change anything. How many times have we called for the hitting coach to be fired here? And it doesn't change anything. Like, it's up to the guys who are on the field to get it done. I don't understand why people don't get that. Like, they think that the hitting coach needs to get fired because Manny Machado at the plate has like an eighth of a second to make a decision. That's Manny Machado's fault that he missed the ball. It's just crazy to me. All the excuses that people make. And the hitting coach always is the first one on the chopping block. I understand. You're the hitting coach. It's in your title. If they're not hitting, then what are you coaching? I get it. But I just don't think that's the answer. Blowing up, it wouldn't be blowing up, but changing the coaching staff now would just be counterproductive. And it's May. Let's talk about it after the year. Let's talk about it when we have the full season in front of us. Because again, I just went through that the Padres made the playoffs, even though they were swept a total of 5 times last year, and they had some 5-game losing streaks in there. This just happened. This just happens is what I'm trying to say here. Abraham, he's back. Am I the agent for Souza? Yeah, sure, if you want me to be. No, I'm not the agent for Souza. That's another dumb thing to say. I hate it. It's just like, I don't understand why fans get so mad about things. Like, everybody's furious with Freddie Fermin. Everybody's furious about Freddie Fermin. Okay, he's not hitting. But like, why do the superstars get a passage? I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling at this point. Okay, since everybody wants me to be negative, here we go. 3-6 homestand here in the last 9 games. Swept for the first time this year. 2 for 43 runners in scoring position at home. Last 5 games, 0 for 33 runners in scoring position. It's all bad. Do you think, let's go back to today's game. Do you think maybe scoring was going to be tough against Sanchez to begin with? Like, it was going into the game, I didn't expect much of anything, to be honest with you. But I also kind of expected this is when they break out and this is when they do things. But Christopher Sanchez had a huge month of May. He set a Phillies record for scoreless innings in the month of May. He's not just doing this to the Padres, he's doing it to everyone. And as you can tell, I'm getting a little frustrated. We're getting to that point. It's only May. It's only May 27th. But if you want to give up on this team, please do. But I will not be doing that. I will not be giving up on this team. If there was one thing that I could complain about today from Craig Stammen, and I looked for the answer to this, but why was Ty France not in the lineup? If the whole thing is that Gavin Sheets doesn't face lefties, and you got Christopher Sanchez, the best lefty in baseball, starter, maybe Tarek Skubal, but you got one of the best lefties, why is Ty France not playing first base? I didn't get that. Was it because he struck out 4 times last night? I don't know. I don't know if it was because of that, but logic from the decisions that they've made this year tells me that Ty France should have been in the game today. Gavin Sheets is not great against lefties. Now, we talked about him being matchup proof, but that was last week. He's cooled off. I didn't understand that either. I didn't understand why Sheets was in the game and not Ty France. It didn't make sense to me there. But you have a Cy Young caliber lefty, and he just mowed everyone down regardless. So in the end, it doesn't matter because the Padres faced the guy who's probably going to finish in top 3 of Cy Young if he keeps going like this. Or not even top 3. He's going to win the Cy Young if he keeps going like this. And trust me, I get annoyed by the whole, oh, they're facing good pitching. I get annoyed by all of that too. I do. All right. When we get back, we are going to go into notes on a scorecard. We're going to, which if you've never heard that before, it's Chris's segment. But I was at the game today, so I wrote down a bunch of stuff. We'll talk about what we saw there. And then the final segment, I might be opening up the phones. We'll see where we're going in the final segment of the show. But I'm going to gather myself in the break. Notes on a scorecard when we get back. Traffic here.
Search for Gwen and
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello! Eric, how you doing? You good? Wow.
Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfuss and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh? I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here. So.
What are you thinking to see it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place. So I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight at the back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good.
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfus and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh?
Are you a baseball player?
I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here. So.
What are you thinking to see it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place. So I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So.
Woosah is what I told myself in the break. I actually, legitimately for a few minutes, I don't know, I guess people can see behind me, I just kind of lounged in my chair, put my feet up, and just watched out the window for a second. I am trying to woosah. I don't like getting angry, but when you say Fernando needs to go to Lake Elsinore for a week, it bothers me. It's not going to help the team whatsoever. It's not. It's actually going to hurt the team because Fernando's actually kind of hitting right now when no one else is, even though he's hitting singles. I mean, I could be like Chris and freak out. Oh, we're not paying him for this. What? I mean, what's the point of that? I don't think there's much point 2.2 there. Happy Hour is brought to. Let me start that over. Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. I know I'm easy to get riled up. I know. And I know that's why people do it. But I do appreciate the detractors out there because it does give me a different way of thinking about things. But Jacob has a question. Matt, do you think this team would be hitting better if Albert Pujols was the manager of this team? No, because Albert Pujols isn't hitting. He doesn't go up to the plate to hit. So I don't think that would help. Would he have different insights? Of course. Of course he would. Would he be able to give advice? Yes. Would it completely turn things around? I don't think so. It's not the craziest question in the world because I've received some crazy questions. But if you missed the first segment, the Padres have made the playoffs with having bad stretches like this. We will not remember this sweep if the Padres make the playoffs and they have a good second half and all that. We will not remember this sweep at all. KG says, drop the Pujols theory. Is that the theory now? I mean, I guess you could say Craig Stammen was a pitcher and the pitching is doing really well. So maybe there is something there. Maybe they should have brought in Albert Pujols as the hitting coach. Maybe. All right. It's time for this.
What did Chris like? What does Chris want to clean up? Observations written on a grocery list. Notes on a scorecard starts now.
Gonzo said, we will remember because we'll probably be playing them. Oh, that's funny. That is funny, Gonzo. All right, notes on a scorecard. If you don't know what it is, it's usually when Chris and I do our post-game show, he ends up writing down all of his notes on his wife's grocery list. And so I did something similar today while I was at the game, and we'll get started here. Got to get to my notes. Should have already been there. All right. I got to say, Walker Buehler, I was a little bit concerned for coming into the game because Phillies lineup very good. But he struck out Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper in the first, went through it, no problem. Top of the second, Buehler got a double play, help him out after a Bohm single. So he's pitching out of, he wasn't really in trouble with too many runners until he got taken out of the game. But top of the second, he got through it with that double play. Now, Fernando got on base in the bottom of the second. Fernando got on base. I think it was the bottom of the first. He got caught by Sanchez going to second. So Fernando a little bit too antsy there to get started. Christopher Sanchez is a lefty. He's staring straight at Fernando. So he kind of knows, he can kind of sense if Fernando's going to take the base. But the only reason that Fernando's not out there is because Bryce Harper had a bad throw and it pulled the shortstop off the bag. So got away with one there. Runners in scoring position, could not convert. Fernando left on second. Here's another thing. Top of the second, Xander challenged a pitch, but the umpire, I'm assuming, told him it took too long. So I saw Xander hit his helmet for the double tap his helmet for the pitch review. Then he didn't get the pitch review, so he struck out. When I went to go look at the pitch later, it would have been a strike anyway. But I don't know if this double tapping helmet thing or this 2-second rule is as clear as we all think it is. It's kind of umpires. It's kind of umpire's discretion. So I could see maybe someone who's getting who's been given a hard time by a team. I could see an umpire maybe not given that extra half second to get the challenge in. But anyway, that's just something I noticed at the game, and I immediately told Frank, who was sitting next to me, here's a challenge that I just didn't get, and I'm channeling my inner Chris now. Nick Castellanos challenge in the top of second. Jackson Merrill's on base, 2-0 count. If it was a ball, it would have gone 3-0, but it was a strike, so it went to 2-1. But it was a called strike, and he lost the challenge. So now the Padres are down to one challenge. I did not understand that challenge. Was it really worth it for you to go from 2-0 to 2-1 or 3-0? Like, I wouldn't have challenged there if I was Nick Castellanos, but I'm not Nick Castellanos, and I'm not a professional baseball player. But it's easy for us to say. I still think those are not the situations for a challenge. Now, Jackson Merrill, he went from first to third, and with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, he just barely made it to third. And I got to say, I was a fan of this. I was a fan of Jackson Merrill sprinting from second to third, even though the ball was in left field. Like, he understands that when they get guys in scoring position, they have to take advantage of it. They have to. And so he wanted to get to third. He made it to third. It was a close play, but a very good play for Jackson Merrill by running it out. I will say the Padres made Christopher Sanchez work in the first 2 innings. They made him throw 38 pitches, which is, not something that he's used to throwing. The second inning, they definitely made him work. And so at least at this point in the game, I was feeling okay. Through 3, Walker Buehler, 9 up, 9 down today. So again, another great day for Walker Buehler. Sanchez, he settled in the 3rd. Top of the 4th, Nick Castellanos made a play in right field that I got to say, off the bat, I did not think that Nick Castellanos had any chance of getting to this ball, but he tracked down a ball to rob Trey Turner into the right center gap, and I got to give him a lot of credit because it kept Schwarber at first. Schwarber was already around second thinking that ball was going to hit the ground, because he got Nick Castellanos chasing it. He got there. Expected batting average on this, 480. So Nick Castellanos, massive play right there. I immediately looked at Schwarber. Schwarber is already past second. He had to run all the way back because he didn't think so. So that was huge play for Nick Castellanos in right field. Walker Buehler then got another nice double play. So through 4 innings, only saw 3 hitters in each inning. Bottom of the 4th, Manny might be finding his swing, everyone. He just missed a homer, and he's been hitting the ball well lately. Hit another ball to the fence later in the game. Hit his 2-run home run last night. Hit a 2-run home run against the Dodgers. He has been at least hitting for power as of late. Now he needs to get that average up because hitting below 200 is just not something Manny Machado is used to doing, and it's definitely not going to get the Padres to the promised land if he does that. Ramon Laureano also showing signs of life with that homer last night and then the double in the 4th. So hopefully Top Ramon can get going again. Top of the 5th inning, Buehler, 3 straight ground outs. I think they were all to Fernando. But so Buehler still hasn't given up a run, doing very well. Bottom of the 5th, Fernando, another hit. He's got that part down. He just got to get the home run now. Top of the 6th, Buehler gets the first out of the inning. Then he allows a hit, and this is when it kind of went cattywampus on him. He hits Edmundo Sosa with a pitch, and then Craig Stammen makes the move to get Buehler out of the game. He brings in the best lefty reliever option for the Padres in Adrian Morejon. Doesn't matter, though. Schwarber singled to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. I got to say, Buehler, he was the only reason this game was not 6-0. So he kept him into the game as much as he possibly could. So we're now Schwarber drives in a run, Trey Turner drives in a run. You feel like this game might be over. However, I don't know about you, but I cannot give up the game too early because we've seen this team come back a few times this year. So they have had a very strong 7th, 8th, 9th inning in this first part of the season, but I feel like that has cooled off a little bit. So my expectations need to change accordingly. Bottom of the 6th, 3 up, 3 down for the Padres. Just nothing happening. Bottom of the 7th, Jackson doubles with 1 out. Nick Castellanos grounds out to short, which kept Jackson at second. Was an empty out, so they couldn't get him to third. Ty France pitch hits for Freddie Fermin, and he strikes out. Bottom of the 8th, 3 up, 3 down. However, they got Christopher Sanchez out of the game after 7 innings. If there's anything that was going to happen for the Padres, it was against the bullpen of the Phillies, but they did not score a run. So that was really it. Game over. Padres lose to the Phillies 3-0. Yes, they only scored 3 runs. They only scored 3 runs in this entire series. Is it really depressing and hard to watch? At times, yes. At times, yes. But as my good friend Tony Gwynn Jr. always says, that's why you flush it and you look forward to the next game. That is why I love baseball. Because, it could easily be that they win the next 6 in a row. So, again, the season is not over because of this stretch. The season is not over because of this stretch. All right. When we get back, we're going to look ahead a little bit to the Padres. I have to bring up this Abner Uribe thing. Maybe I'll get it. I'll have to bring it up tomorrow. But Abner Uribe was crazy last night against the Cardinals, and I'll tell you why. We'll also, like I said, preview everything that is coming up for the Padres. We'll also talk about Johan Duran, because I know that Brad Lidge said he was better than Mason Miller. Phillies didn't have to see Mason Miller in this series. So we have some things to clean up here when we get back. Skraby Show, Gwynn and Chris hybrid on 97.3 The Fan.
Ben and Woods.
been an emotional show here on the Gwynn and Chris Skraby Show hybrid. It's been emotional. Padres are in a bad stretch. I was looking into this more on the break, and I think it's a question I'm definitely going to have to ask Chris tomorrow. But I really don't understand why they started Gavin Sheets over Ty France at first base. I'm looking at Gavin Sheets' splits right now versus lefty batters. He has 21 at bats, 3 hits. He's hitting 143 with an OPS of 325. Right-handed batters, he's hitting 265 with 9 home runs and an OPS of 894. Now, am I making too big of a deal about one day? Probably, but the logic was you don't start Gavin Sheets against lefties, and you don't, I guess in my mind, don't start Gavin Sheets against Cy Young caliber lefties. I mean, I would have seen where Ty France would have gone with things today. I know he pinch hit. That's not easy to do. He did strike out 4 times last night, so maybe that's part of it. I looked up to see if Ty France had history against Christopher Sanchez. Adam was with me, and we could not find Ty France on the list of batters that Christopher Sanchez has faced. So I'm not really sure, but that is something I have to talk about with Chris tomorrow. But when you look at the lineup, again, I'm going to say it. This stretch is not something that's going to end their season. But something has to change quick. You got in the lineup today. Merrill with his 2 hits gets back to 200. But you have Manny Machado hitting 169. You have Laureano hitting 211. Jackson Merrill hitting 200. Nick Castellanos hitting 186. Freddie Fermi hitting 140. I'm sorry. That's not a lineup that's going to scare anyone. Manny Machado, obviously, is scary because he can hit a 2-run shot whenever he wants. But how long, I guess, what is Nick Castellanos' role on the team? And I want to be careful with this because I don't want Nick Castellanos off the team, but he's hitting 186 right now. He had a hit today, but it's either like he drives in a run, hits a big home run, or he doesn't hit. So, like, how long can they go with that? How long can they go with a guy hitting under 200? It's not as easy for me to say just because Nick Castellanos has had some big moments this year for the Padres, and he has driven in runs, and he has had the big hit when they've needed a big hit. So that's tough. But it's like if he does that once every 25, 30 at bats, hits a home run, maybe. I mean, I think I'm probably on the low side of that. Is that worth it? Is that worth it? I'm not sure. I'm looking in the chat right now. If you want to join, you can go to Gwynn and Chris SD or 97.3 The Fan SD. We have some suggestions on how to get the Padres going. Smelling salts is one of them. I appreciated smelling salts. Someone said to paint a giant pentagram in the outfield. I don't know if summoning Satan is the best thing for us right now. KG says maybe a centipede pit, which is kind of fun. But I get it. We're just all trying to like make light of the situation because it's not our favorite to see the Padres lose and not be able to hit. But I can guarantee you, we've talked about this many times in the past. Sean says we're losing 10 to 12 straight. They've only lost 4, right? I mean, they got, I guess, 6 or 8 more. The Cubs have lost 10 straight. So, I mean, could be worse. Could be worse. Let's look ahead for the Padres. And if there's anybody who wants to call in, give us a call, 833-288-0973. I might take 1 or 2 before we get out of here today. But looking forward and ahead for the Padres, they're flying to D.C. right now. So they're going to be playing the Nationals, which the Nationals are over 500, or at least they were yesterday, according to Fantabulous. So the Nationals aren't a pushover team at all. Then they go right back to Philadelphia. and they go right back to most likely Christopher Sanchez. Padres don't play well at Citizens Bank Park from my memory, but man, it's May, and I've said this is the entire time. It's almost June. Yes, that's how a calendar works, Matt Skraby. You can't lose the season now, but you definitely can make it really, really, really difficult for you in the second half. There's still what's the record after today? There's still 7 games over 500. I mean, the Phillies are 29-27 with their terrible start that they had, but it's an important time of the year to not allow this to snowball on you. And when it snowballs on you, that's when things get dire, and that's when guys start playing a little bit more tight, and that's when mistakes are made, and that's when losses happen. Kayla says Casty Revenge Series next week. That actually would be pretty good, I have to say. That would be pretty good. All right. I'm going to go to traffic real quick, get you all home, and then we're going to take some calls. I'm going to talk to them right now.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
Things are still sluggish on the southbound 5 from a crash that's clearing near the 75 exchange. Beyond that, you're going to be under the speed limit all the way past the 54. I'm John Yazel, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
Traffic brought to you by Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions. Save on family favorites when you shop at Vons or Albertsons. Signature Select whole frying chicken, drumsticks, or bone-in thighs value packs are 99 cents a pound with membership where applicable. And locally grown yellow nectarines are just $1.49 a pound with digital coupon on Vons or Albertsons.com.
All right. I screened the calls. That's what you get when you're a one-man band over here. You have to go to a traffic segment just to screen the calls. But I did that. And here we go. Mo, you are on first. Gwen and Chris, how's it going? What's on your mind?
Hey, Skrabe. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, look, you just hit on something very, very important. And that's the fact that our lineup right now scares absolutely no one. Over this little bit of a slump that we're in, we're basically scoring 1.25 runs per game, which, I mean, Skrabe, that's, I know we had a big win against the Dodgers a couple days ago, last week, on a 1-run game.
Yeah.
1 run is just not going to get it done.
No.
And I think the frustrating part as a fan is the fact that this lineup and this team was built for so much more, and we're just not seeing the results of what AJ Preller has done really be reflected on the scorecard. And I think that's the big thing for me is that we see guys like Laureano underperforming that last year was an amazing contributor. We've all talked about the struggles with Tatis. We see some of the issues that we're having with Manny and some of those things that are really, so all those things collectively, Scrape, is I think I think the fan base is really frustrated at, if that makes any sense.
Oh, it totally makes sense. And thank you, Mo, for that phone call. That was well thought out. It totally makes sense. When you come into the year and you say, if someone were to tell me that Fernando Tatis Jr. would be 54 games or whatever into the season without a home run, I would have laughed at you. I would have bet my life savings that would be wrong. And so the underperformance is definitely something fans can be frustrated by. I think that's a fair frustration because these guys are not playing up to the level that we expect them to play. And here's a quote from Manny last night. And sometimes Manny's been doing this his entire life. So I tend to believe Manny when he tells me things like, hey, things are going to happen. Things are starting to happen. Things like that. I tend to believe Manny. But here's what he said last night. And it's not that it didn't sit right with me, but it doesn't seem like there's much urgency there. He said, quote, I think we're in a great spot. We're right where we need to be. And we're not even firing on all cylinders. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, it's about winning ball games, making it into the postseason, getting deep into the postseason. And that's all that really matters. You're not really going to look at these tough stretches that we've been having. We're winning ball games and we're not even playing good baseball. So it's a positive sign. I think everybody in here knows it. It's not going to sustain all year, and we're going to have to step up, and we're going to do it. I think we're inching closer to that. Now, when that's said, I tend to agree with Manny on most of that. But then you have a series like this, and I know this was after last night's game, so they lost 4-3. And today, you don't get a run on the board. So is that actually inching closer? He's right about one thing, though. They are winning games when they're not playing their best. And he's also right about this. When some of these guys start hitting, this offense is going to be incredible, and I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for this offense just to start raking. All right, let's go to James. Hello, James. How are you doing today?
Yeah, hey, Matt, how about a couple of quick hitters? First of all, really enjoyed your Halloween presentation this year. I got in the truck, drove to Mission Valley to listen to the whole thing on the road. It was actually quite nice. I appreciate it.
Okay.
You got professional baseball players. They need to start playing like professional baseball players. You don't have to swing at the first pitch. You know, you get the bases loaded. Tatis needs to, I think the smartest thing that I've heard from any of you guys, including Tony Gwynn Jr., send him to Lake Elsinore for a week. Right, he ain't going to lose any money. Maybe he can get a couple hits down there and get his confidence back.
I mean, James, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you really think it's the best idea for him to go to Lake Elsinore, Fernando Tatis Jr.?
At this point, you're a third of the way through the season. You got a guy that hits anywhere from 20 to 40 home runs. He has 0. You look around the league, the Diamondbacks are about to catch our Padres. I don't like that one bit, Matt. These guys got to step it up. I don't care if they need to take batting practice and do some stuff on the off days, you know, go hit off a tee. I don't care what they got to do, but they need to get it together. They got good fans, and this is a good town, and let's just get things rolling. And I really appreciate the show, and you have a nice afternoon, Matt.
Thank you very much, James. I agree with you on everything except for sending Fernando to Lake Elsinore. I just don't see how that's going to help. I understand the logic of it. You want to give him a little bit of a break. You want him to see some pitching, maybe that he can. The ball's going to look like a beach ball. But he went 2 for 4 today. His average is up to 260. Still not hitting for power, but now he's actually getting hits. The home run will come. The home run will happen. I'm still going to die on that hill. Is that the home run is actually going to happen sooner rather than later. Like whenever he comes at the bat, I don't even think about a home run anymore. I don't even think about it. Not because I don't think it's going to happen, just because it's been so weird that he hasn't hit for power much at all. But James is also right about that when he says that these are professional baseball players and they need to figure it out. I don't disagree with that. Fan frustration is fair when the team is not performing up to a standard that A, they hold for themselves, and B, we hold for them. Like, that's fair fan frustration. On one side today, you got Walker Buehler pitching really well. For the most part, it was just a Kyle Schwarber single and a Trey Turner grounder that got 2 runs on the board and then Trey Turner home run. But I just think that sending these guys to AAA is not going to be helpful. And maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? I could be wrong. I mean, if it does help this team start hitting again, and it does help this team start winning games, not that they've lost that many, they've lost 4 in a row, but they would do it. Trust me, they're trying to find ways to win. I am not ready to fire the hitting coach. I am not ready to fire Craig Stammen. I am not ready to fire AJ Preller. I am not ready to fire the pitching whisperer, but he's not. We would never fire the pitching whisperer. I'm not ready to fire Ben Fritz in the bullpen. 55 actually games in. Still a ton to go. Don't miss the roundtable tomorrow morning. I believe Ted Leitner is going to be on. I hope so, because I heard that last week, but it'll start at 9 a.m. Chris and I, 2 p.m. Have a great night, everybody.